So the fear and greed index has moved from greed back down to fear. If you notice, we checked this out. Oh, I've got the hiccups. We've checked this out in our last video, but we've gone down further, which just tells me that we've got so much more room to grow. Yes, we do. When it comes to the stock and flow model, forgive me for the hiccups, but obviously we're still yellow. We are pointing up. So we did hit in a bit of resistance and we retraced in the market, as I mentioned in my last video, with our new moon that we had at the end of July, and we hit our resistance level, and then we've been retracing ever since. Now, if you are new here, my name is KelitaSahliah. I combine the crypto market with astrology. So if this is not your vibe, you need to just galeng right now and you will miss the gems. You will miss the gems, but those who subscribe. So anyway, do like the video if it helps. If you vibe with me, and I know I'm hiccuping, but it's confirmation hiccups. But anyway, we're going to look into the astrological story of this cycle, and then we'll get into the chart. So what is coming up? We're just in a whole moon phase that we will enter. It is late on Sunday, so by the time you're watching this, it will be Monday, and we've essentially entered into our full moon phase, our supersturgeon moon based in Capricorn. So what does this mean? When we are in our full moon stage, price likes to find its support zone. When it's found its support zone, you can essentially long the market or DCA. Just like we had our new moon, we find our resistance. Once it's found its resistance, you can then short the market or take profit. This is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. For the purpose of TikTok, when this video uploads, is for entertainment purposes only. Entertainment purposes only, TikTok. All right, okay. So we're in this full moon phase, which is starting this cycle, and it will end 5 days after. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Basically, up until the 14th, this cycle end of the cycle. I'm trying to get the word week out of my vocabulary because we are not weak and words are spells. Okay, all right, let's go. So essentially, we will be in our bottoming phase, finding our support from the resistance we've previously had, and then essentially going up from there. The fact that it is Capricorn is giving me a few thoughts. So Capricorn is a earth sign, so it can move slow. Oh gosh. However, confirmation hiccup. However, in this slowness, this earthiness, it creates, or it sets stable foundations. Now, this astrology is based off of the visible sky. So on the 9th of August, the moon that you see outside will be in front of the Capricorn star constellation. Okay, that's where it will be. Mainstream tropical astrology may be saying it's in Sagittarius. No. What's after Capricorn? Aquarius. Maybe saying it's in Aquarius, but it's not. It will be in Capricorn. So within its stable foundations, it's like, how will the market perform? We know we're going to be finding our support, and essentially we'll be moving up from there. Will the market move in this way, knowing that this is a stable, strong foundation, Capricorn energy, towards a long-term goal? So it's just going to be interesting how the market wants to act in this time. Will it be a strong foundation for it to give it the momentum to continue up, or will we be slow moving until we reach into our new moon? Because even though our new moon finds our resistance level, we need to be brought up to our resistance level in order to get rejected and then come down. And with that Leo energy, we'll stim, but we'll take a look at the charts. And as you know, I even forgot to show you. But light being, we're not going to miss this. We're going to be 100% transparent with our bot, okay? Our light being bot. So let's take a look at the bot. But before we do, if you did want this calendar, and LightBeing is up in here. It's not the biggest announcement, but LightBeing's up in there as well for some merch. But if you did want the calendar, digital and physical copies are available. But if you do grab the bot, you will get a digital copy free every year if you grab the bot anyway. So we're being 100% transparent. We are up on our P&L. We're up 66. It was like 40 last time, but the ROI, we are down a few percent. We aren't in any trades right now because the market just went down. It did just go down, and really and truly, if I was paying more attention to the bot, I should have just closed those trades that were in profit by like $100. I should have just done that, but you know, you girl can be an airhead at times. I want to see how this bot does. So as you can see, we've had just some losses, but we are a bit in the green. It obviously was anticipating just that upward momentum, so we're just waiting really on better entries. Forgive me if you're fed up with my hiccuping. So am I. I don't know where it's coming from, but anyway, let's just take a look at the charts before anything. Let's take a look at the charts. But we are going to be 100% transparent with that bot. Losses happens, wins happens. So if you'd like to get on board, all the details will be below. You sign up via the link, and then you press the other link that is next to it to just copy the trade, if that's what you'd like to do. But this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Don't do anything without making an informed decision from a professional. I'm not a professional. Anyway, so when it comes to Bitcoin, we've had a lovely, beautiful break and retest. Beautiful. Off the 11111. That's a lovely break and retest. Honestly, it's beautiful. The only thing I'd say, if when it comes to, like, we've got a few options when it comes to Bitcoin. Will we get our full moon giving us our support round about this zone, as we are in the full moon energy? Will we get it at this zone, and will it continue on up? Or is this not enough? Have we fallen down? Will we retest where we have wicked to here on the daily? Will we come down lower to find support on a lower area? And to be honest, both scenarios will be absolutely fine. Both will show continuation if it is to do that. Because if we come back down to the 0.888 zone, which is the buying zone, and it's a stronger level, as you can see, price wicked up to this zone, and we only have like a couple trading clusters here, whereas the 0.8 fib, we wicked up to it, we was rejected off it again, and then we had a little rejection before we broke through. So personally, if we are to come back down and to retest the actual 0.888 fib, 110k Bitcoin, that would be super healthy, and for me that would show more of a propel forward. So we just need to keep in mind this Capricorn energy, it being slow moving, it being focused on stability, structure towards a long-term goal. So this is where my thought process of, if we are to come down to this zone, if we do get rejected off here, potentially come down, build a better structure, this is our lower point, and then we get back up and then continue up. That would just show like definitely a stronger continuation. However, we could still get our support, because sometimes the way Bitcoin likes to move, especially because we've retested this zone, that may be more than enough for Bitcoin. So essentially we could also just get our support zone on this level and begin to make our way up. So we want to keep that in mind when it comes to Bitcoin. Looking at the MACD, we've still got a few more days of red downwards or consolidation when it comes to Bitcoin, what I'm seeing here with the MACD, until we come a bit, say, looser. looser. The RSI, though, is looking quite good. What point was this on the chart here? Okay. So the RSI is looking quite good. Reason being is because price on the RSI has come down so low in comparison to where the price is on the chart. So it's kind of like, oh, I'm very right-brained at saying it, but energetically or volume-wise, we're at similar levels. We've touched similar levels and we've created a higher high when it comes to the RSI. So this, for me is kind of confirming, like, have we hit our support? Are we in that zone? Maybe couple more wicks down to it, or just hovering around to confirm it, as we have come up quite a bit. So you can anticipate a little drawdown, but it's seeing essentially if we're going to come lower than this. And the way it's structured, I don't feel we will. I feel we could potentially have a little bit down, and then we continue back up to the 50 and then get above it on the RSI. So essentially what I'm looking at is how price just responds at this zone when it comes to the B of the T of the C of the coin. Let's just put on the moon so we know. So this was our resistance level, and it happened clearly, nicely, beautifully. And then oh gosh, this is getting worse. On the 9th, when's the 9th? Here, it was on it perfectly. So we just want to see how it responds to this level. This could be a support if it can hold that well. So just looking on the 4 hour, we can probably get a better picture as to what's going on. So on the 4 hour, it does look like a simple, like it's falling down. And could we reject it? I feel it's slowly gaining back structure. Looking on the 4 hour, you can see we've come up higher. We've created a higher high than this point. So that is a confirmation. What we really want to see is if price can hold this level. So no, I want the horizontal ray. Let's do the Ray bands. No, I'm joking. So essentially, if we are to retrace from this level now, can we hold 113k? Is that something we could hold? And if we can, if we stay above that, 113.1, and the zone before that will just be here. I'm going to put it slightly underneath, because essentially we've broken above this. So will we just use this as a retest and then continue up? If we fail on this point at the high of 113k, 113.8, if we can't hold that, then our next level is 113.1k. So we'll see how this goes. It's created this higher high, so that's looking positive in terms of a retrace to this zone, little break, retest, and then continuation. But this will be our next zone level if we do not hold 113.8k. So just keep that in mind. Looking at the MACD on the 4 hour, we are shifting green. We're pointing up, so it's looking a bit strong, as if this could be the zone. We've gone up quite a lot. We were quite oversold here, so we've gone up quite a lot. So this little retracement is still good, but as you can see, we are still on this downward trend. So essentially from this retracement, we would like to see a break of this trend, and I'll just draw the line just so we can come back to it in our next video. But it's not the best line, but just a simple line. It's on a small time frame, so it's not really that deep, but we want to break over that when it comes to the RSI, so we'll keep an eye on it. But on the daily, I do want to take a look at all of these moving averages. So as you can see, we are underneath the 8, but we are being supported by the 50, and of course the 200 is lower than it. Checking it on the 4 hour, let's just see what's going on. So we're underneath the 50 and the 200, but we have been supported by the 8. This 8 moving up on the 4 hour could give it its momentum to push upward. As that pushes upward, these will eventually cross over. So seeing that 8 giving it support is looking quite good. Let's just get rid of that so we don't get confused and look at the other one. So again, as you can see with this, we are underneath all of them, not one of them, not two of them, but all of them, the 3 of them. We're underneath them all, confirmation, but the 200 is, where is the 200? Oh wait, there. Oh wait, gone. See it there's it far down right there, so that's far at the bottom. I feel when it comes to the EMAs, no, the SMAs, these are the EMAs. When it comes to the SMAs, we will get that support much more, as the 8 is supporting it, and that 8 could give it the support for these to eventually coil back up and get back together. Confirmation hiccup. Looking on the 4 hour with these though, seeing if it's a little bit more better. As you can see, they are moving, which is good. When they moving, of course they're moving averages. But they're starting, the yellow is starting to point up. They're curving is what I mean. So as price essentially continues to play with this zone, creating its support, essentially these moving averages should coil up, and eventually the 200 should get underneath. But what I'm liking so far, it is on top of the yellow, so that's a start. We just need to give it time to move, but it's looking all right. It's looking all right, Bab. So we're just going to take a look at Ethereum. So Ether. So Ethereum just went above again our resistance level with the moon. And you people sleep on the moon phases, fam. You sleep on the moon phases, but just look at this. Just look at this. You sleep on astrology, but it's okay if you're missing the gems. It's absolutely fine. So we had our resistance. It's going to be the same with XRP. We got rejected on the new moon, no moon, because that is the resistance level. We straight down from the 0.888. Ethereum's like the only one who hasn't even like got close to its 1.618 fib yet. XRP hadn't reached it, but it definitely got closer to it, and Bitcoin obviously hit it. So these are things that are going to be coming, and I'm seeing it in August. There is going to be another explosive move in August. Many people are doubting it because like, oh, we've had this big retracement, but you don't understand the flow of the market. It moves in waves. Water, think of the ocean. It needs to do this, and those who aren't ready for what the waves will bring you will come out early, or will be scared, will do whatever. But as say God, it needs to happen. So anyway, ETH, we're back inside of the golden pocket. My only question is, and we'll see based off of these moving averages, ETH seems to move just a bit slower. Bitcoin needs to do what it's doing. XRP does it on its own. But will we get rejected at the top of the golden pocket, and will we try and touch and retest the bottom of the golden pocket? This again, I feel it will all depend on what Bitcoin does, but ultimately these may not have finished the big dip that Bitcoin, you know, because it moves earlier. Because just looking at this, if you look on a smaller time frame, there is a cluster of trading that has happened here. And if you look left, yet it's not a lot. The top of the golden pocket kind of retests this zone about. And again, this isn't really a lot, but it's more than what's happening here. So that's why I'm like, depending if we cannot hold these moving averages, etc., for Ethereum, touching basically 3k.8 could be a possibility. So do keep that in mind. Let's just put on our other ones to take a look and get rid of that one. So again, and I'm glad I had the other one on first, because as you can see, our 55, this white line is here, the 200 is there. But if we're pushed further to test these lows more, we could get a lovely support off of this after retesting like a high close to here and even here, just getting that extra confirmation. So I do feel that is coming, because remember, Capricorn, it may seem slow because it's in this Capricorn energy, but it's Earth. It's setting up stability, and it will need the stability to move on forward, a stronger structure. But either way, the fact that we're in the golden pocket is positive when it comes to ETH. Yeah, it's MACD. It still looks like we still got a little bit more downward movement to go on the daily. You can see we're pointing down. Will we point down and just go lower underneath the 50, or will we just come down and will we remain, like, keep that as our low level? So that's just something to observe, but we've definitely potentially got some downward momentum coming in. If we take a look on the 4 hour for Ethereum before we go on to XRP, we are being supported quite nicely here by the 8 moving average. So again, will this 200, will it keep us from potentially not touching the bottom of the golden pocket, keeping us in this trading cluster? So this is the trading cluster I was talking about that we've essentially retested. So this wasn't appearing on the daily because it happened underneath a day, but there is a trading cluster here. So this is something we're going to pay attention to as well. We'll just put in a horror. We'll put in this. Ew, no, undo, wrong thing. Horizontal ray. Just a bit more clearer with the ray, otherwise so many white lines. So yes, essentially that's something I'd like to see how Ethereum responds to this. Unlike Bitcoin, if you notice, when Bitcoin dipped low and we were looking at this area, it dipped low, Bitcoin came up higher than the point here. Ethereum hasn't, so we're going to just keep an eye on that. But like I said, it does move slower in general than Bitcoin, so it probably just hasn't done it yet. But us getting above like the top of the golden pocket again would be fantastic. If we get above it, essentially we could retest that, and this whole area would be our support. If we get rejected by this on Ethereum, we could go down to this point. If we cannot hold that, we're looking at like wicks to the bottom of the golden pocket essentially. But that's what I'm seeing for ETH. Let's just hide that one. What's this one saying? They are turning just like Bitcoin, but again, price just needs to, there needs to be a little propel up. It is Sunday, so I don't know if any news or anything is coming out tomorrow to propel the markets. But looking at XRP and the hizzy, I just drew some random red lines the other day. But anyway, So unlike Ethereum, we just got a little bit higher. We did not reach our 1.618, which is sitting at $4.50. We didn't reach that, but we did go a bit higher than ETH before getting our resistance level, and we have come down. Now, something my mentor shared was that XRP's resistance level, particularly for XRP, can last 9 days and then it changes and reverts the other way. So we're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we've reached like our 10th day and the market is changing. This for me is interesting. Will we finish our low? Will this be our lowest point for XRP? It's going to be interesting to see because, like I says, we've come up quite a bit. So as you can see, this new daily candle has started. So that could be that simple retracement as we've gone up quite a bit anyway. But essentially, in terms of our lows, could this be it? So our full moon on the 9th, which is here, essentially come in at this zone and we begin to make our way up again. So we're keeping an eye out on that, but ultimately XRP is looking healthy anyway. And I know it may not seem like that. So many people, oh, the market's gone down. But if it's not look, 22, 22, 23, angel number, if it's not a 90 plus percent, 80 to 90 plus percent correction, then the market's still moving. All right, it's still moving. This is just a minor retracement on its journey to the upside. So the fact that we broke through the golden pocket lovely, beautifully, the 0.888, the buy-in zone, we broke through it. Us coming back and retesting it is healthy as fuck. It's healthy. And this is what I mean. Will Ethereum come back and retest the bottom of the golden pocket? I feel Bitcoin is a bit too high to do that, to retest like the bottom of the golden pocket. So yeah, XRP retesting the bottom of that, it's healthy. We just need to get back above it. That's what we need to do. Literally get back above it. So we'll see how that happens. When it comes to the MACD, we are turning pink, which is good. We're turning pink, so the redness is slowing down, which is positivo. Again, we have been rejected off this zone. Is this because we've gone up quite a bit? Will we get that rejection but not go as low as this? And then point back up and then finally break above the 50 on the RSI and then continue to the upside. So it's looking healthy. It is looking healthy, even though some of this is turning red. But people just it's okay. It's all right. It's all right, Bab. Let's just change these because you can see we're underneath them all except, where's price? Except the red. We are being supported on that right now. Again, we're underneath the 8, but as the days and the time moves on, could we get that support off of the 55, basically not making us go lower than the bottom of the golden pocket, which sits at $2.74. Let's just take a look on the 4-hourly. So the 4-hourly, so again, unlike Bitcoin, similar to Ethereum, we haven't had this high above this point. But Bitcoin we have. However, this 8 and 200 will cross soon, which could give it like that momentum and push up that it needs to eventually get higher, to create that higher high. Is it done, or is this just our 1, 2, and then will we do a third drop? So I'm keeping my eye out on that ultimately, because the market likes to move in 3s, and we've only had 1 and then 2, unless that was 2 and then this was 3, which could be because this was lower than that point. So that's still a possibility. It's still a possibility, but we just need to get this full moon energy certified and confirmed. But let's take a look at the other one so we can see, again, these are all turning, kind of ready to go upward. The 200 is at the bottom of it. So all of these working in cohesion with each other, and the market's all turned red. This is literally just the retracement of what's going on. I do feel we could get the support needed off of this zone. However, hitting things once, sometimes the market likes to do it twice, maybe 3 times. So it's still a possibility, but I'm not seeing much lower than the golden pocket when it comes to XRP anyway. And mama's tired, I need to go. So with that being said, do make sure if you want to get involved in the copy trading. I know we had a loss. We did have a loss. But I say it go sometime. I say it go. You just keep going. You keep going. Do get it if you would like. It will be here for time. But if not, if you wouldn't like to get that, grab a calendar or a shirt. Support LightBeing, or just simply like the video if it resonated with you, if you found out something new to support you, girl. But with that being said, do remember this was for entertainment purposes only. TikTok, and I'm not a financial advisor. Angel out. Bye.